It's your boy Evie. You're watching Evie Family ENT. And if you like what you see, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button so you could become part of Evie's family. Alright, finally we're getting into it. Thank you, Laura, for the request. Once again, let's get it, let's go.
Scalpel.
Hair.
Sponge.
Hair.
Wait. He's convulsing. He's convulsing. We're gonna have to shock him.
Oh my God.
We're gonna have to shock him.
These are the results of 1,000 electric volts. A neck with bolts.
Nurse, we're losing him. Check the pulse.
A kid who refused to respect adults. Wore spectacles with tape frames and a freckled nose. A corny looking white boy, scrawny and always ornery. Cause I was always sick of brawny bullies picking on me. And I might snatch. One day just like that, I decided to strike back and flattened every tire on the bike rack. My first day in junior high. This kid said,
It's you and I. 3 o'clock sharp this afternoon you die.
I looked at my watch, it was 1:20.
I already gave you my lunch money. What more do you want from me?
He said, don't try to run from me, you just make it worse. My palms were sweaty and I started to shake it first.
Oh, see, he said my palms were sweaty. That's actually, I don't know if that's like a new catch. But for me it is. I didn't know that he said that in this song as well. I wonder if that had anything to do with when he wrote Lose Yourself. Palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, vomit on the sweater. You know, his biggest song ever. But I wonder if this had something to do with that. Or do you think, because I'm not an artist and I'm not a rapper, right? And I don't write. Do you think someone like M that's got so much content, and then at this time when he wrote this, he was so young, do you think that he even remembers? I would think he remembers a song like this, of course, and the experience, but do you think he remembers like most of his content? Because if I could never be a rapper, because if I was and I had as much music as M does, there's no way in hell I will be able to remember like 90% of the songs I wrote. I would have no idea. Because I forget a lot of shit, y'all. Like, I'm very forgetful. But we're going to get it back on topic to M. First, we're going to talk about the rhyme scheme right from the beginning. These are the results of 1,000 electric volts. A neck with bolts. Nurse, we're losing him. Check the pulse. Kid who refused to respect adults or respect the calls. Tape frames and a freckled nose. Or, no, freckled nose. That's where the rhyme is. Why did I think the freckle part was the rhyme? But, and then a corny looking white boy, scrawny, and oh, he's ornery. I don't know what the hell ornery is. But then he keeps going. Brawling bullies picking on me. I might snap one day just like that. Decide to strike back, flattening every tire on the bike rack. You know? But now the story itself. I tried to stay away from the story, like to talk about it, because I know the story and I don't really have a story like this. So for me, I don't have much to say about the story. I think it's an effed up situation, and I just appreciate that M was able to overcome that and then make a song relating what happened to him personally and be able to write it the way that he wrote it and rap it the way that he rapped it. That's what I appreciate from this.
Kid who refused to respect adults. Wore spectacles with tape frames and a freckled nose. A corny looking white boy, scrawny and always ornery. Cause I was always sick of brawny bullies picking on me. And I might snatch. One day just like that, I decided to strike back and flattened every tire on the bike rack. My first day in junior high. This kid said,
It's you and I. 3 o'clock sharp this afternoon you die.
I looked at my watch, it was 1:20.
I already gave you my lunch money. What more do you want from me?
He said, don't try to run from me, you just make it worse. My palms were sweaty and I started to shake it first. Something told me,
Try to fake a stomach ache, it works.
I screamed,
Ow, my appendix feel like naked burst. Teacher, quick, I need a naked nurse. What's the matter? I don't know, my leg, it hurts.
hey, I thought you said it was just Tommy.
Oh, I mean it is, but I also got a bum knee. Mr. Mathers, the fun and games are over.
And then you got
Just for that stunt, you're gonna get some extra homework. But don't you
like the way that he could just put in like the, you know, M is flawless at doing this, but the role playing, I would call it the role playing, like the acting he can actually portray in music is phenomenal. But the way that the teachers are treating him, like obviously you're gonna be nervous, or like you're going to the teacher for help, and letting them know like, oh shit, like I cannot be here right now, I gotta go. But you also aren't trying to make your life worse and snitch and all this and this and this. So it's like, yeah, I got this pain. Of course you're probably gonna mess up what you're saying, but they just took it out on him like M's just a piece of shit and doesn't know what he's talking about. And that sucks. The only thing I can relate to, well, I really can't relate to a story like this. The only thing I personally, if you want to make the puzzle pieces fit, was like I got into a lot of fights at school, but my fights, I don't know, I was never like scared to fight. Like there was times I was scared and there was times I lost, but I was never like scared to fight. Like if I knew someone said we're fighting, me and you 3 o'clock, like I have so many stories of those. It's like, all right, well, let's go. And I was all for it because I was just a badass wild kid. But I had a lot of friends. So for me, I wasn't too worried about like a jumping situation where someone like M would be, because he didn't have any friends. So I understand.
I thought you said it was just Tommy. Oh, I mean it is, but I also got a bum knee. Mr. Mathers, the fun and games are over. And just for that stunt, you're gonna get some extra homework. But don't you wanna give me after school detention? Nah, that bully wants to beat your ass and I'ma let him.
Damage ever since the day I was born. Drugs, what they used to say I was on. They say I never knew which way I was going, but everywhere I go they keep playing my song. Brain damage ever since the day I was born. Drugs, what they used to say I was on. They say I never knew which way I was going, but everywhere I go they keep playing my song. Brain way before my baby daughter Haley, I was harassed daily by this fat kid named D'Angelo Bailey, an 8th grader who acted obnoxious cause his father boxed us. So every day he'd shove me in the lockers. One day he came in the bathroom while I was pissing and had me in the position to beat me into submission. He banged my head against the urinal till he broke my nose, soaked my clothes in blood, grabbed me and choked my throat. I tried to plead and tell him we shouldn't be, but he just wouldn't leave. He kept choking me and I couldn't breathe. He looked at me and said, "You gonna die, honky." The principal walked in and started helping him stomp me. I made him think they beat me to death, holding my breath for like 5 minutes before they finally left. Then I got up and ran to the janitor's storage booth, kicked the door loose and ripped out the foreign screws, grabbed some sharp objects, brooms and foreign tools. This is for every time you took my orange juice, I stole my seat in the lunchroom and
then they
drank my chocolate milk. Every time you tip my tray and it dropped and spilled. I'm getting you back, bully, now once and for good. I cocked the broomstick back and swung hard as I could and beat him over the head with it till I broke the wood. Knocked him down and stood on his chest with 1 foot. Made it home later that same day, started reading a comic and suddenly everything became gray. I couldn't even see what I was trying to read. I went deaf and my left ear started to bleed. My mother started screaming, "What are you on, drugs? Look at you, you're getting blood all over my rug."
Like right there, I wanted to wait till that part because I do remember that part. Now, like that is messed up. Like, okay, you know what this always reminds me of? That scene, whenever I hear this song, it reminds me of, has anyone seen the movie American History X? So that movie, it's if you haven't seen it, it's actually a really good movie. But it's a movie that came out a while ago. I don't exactly know what year. I know it's an older movie. But it's a movie about, like, this guy and his family is part of, like, white supremacy, all to the fullest. And he's part of that group, right? And then his brother, who was, like, wanting to join this white supremacy group, wanting to be like his big brother, goes to jail or goes to prison for a really long time. And it shows the story of him in prison and how he had to, like, now you remind you, this is a guy that grew up his family's white supremacy, and he wants to be a leader of this group. And then he goes to prison and his cellmate is black. And so it shows the whole change, and it shows like then he comes out, and when he's out, I'm not going to spoil the movie, but it's a really good movie. It's about people coming together It's not about the white supremacy, right? And that scene makes me think of the part at the end of American History X where he's in the where the brother just got out of jail and he's in the bathroom. Or the brother's, was it his kid or his little brother? I forgot who he was. But he's in the bathroom at the end, and then the guys come in, and then we all know what happens after that. I'm not gonna spoil the movie if no one's seen it. But it is a very intense movie. I will say that. If you're not one for like very intense, very X-rated, very emotional, that movie is all those and more. But that scene always makes me think.
Made it home later that same day. Started reading a comic, and suddenly everything became gray. I couldn't even see what I was trying to read. I went deaf, and my left ear started to bleed. My mother started screaming, "What are you on, drugs? Look at you, you're getting blood all over my wrist." She beat me over the head with the remote control. Opened a hole, and my whole brain fell out of my skull. I picked it up and screamed, "Look, bitch, what have you done? Oh my God, I'm sorry, son." "Shut up, you cunt." I said, "Fuck it." Took it and stuck it back up in my head. Then I sewed it shut and put a couple of screws in my neck. Brain damage ever since the day I was born. Drugs, what they used to say I was on. They say I never knew which way I was going, but everywhere I go they keep playing my song. Brain damage ever since the day I was born. Drugs, what they used to say I was on. They say I never knew which way I was going, but everywhere I go they keep playing my song. Brain damage, it's brain damage. I got brain damage.
But he remembered
Brain
all
damage.
this and wrote it down like this and made it a full story.
Brain damage.
And at such a young age in his career. Like, this is why M will always be the GOAT to me no matter what. This happened to him personally. You know, there was a few things in there he probably added or unadded, and I'm only going off of like what I've heard him talk about with Walkthrough and heard him talk about on other songs where he's kind of like sharpened it up. But 95% of that song was true, and that's what actually happened to him. And to almost be at the point to almost have brain damage and then be scarred for life. I don't remember half the things I did in damn 9th grade, 10th grade. I don't remember half of them. My memory is starting to come back a little bit more, I guess, ever since I stopped smoking, stopped drinking, stopped everything. But it's still horrible. And for M to be able, at this point in his career, he was real young, and to be able to make people or his listeners, like someone like me, literally see a whole movie play out in your head, that's phenomenal. That is why M is as amazing as he is. And then on top of that, he adds in the damn rhyme. He had the damn multi-syllable rhyme schemes going the whole time. So yeah, I rock with that one. I thought I was gonna like see more than I thought. Maybe something would be a little different, but no, for me, I know that song very well. I actually know it more than I thought I knew it. I know that song like to the T. I just don't know. I just never sing that song because I don't relate with that song. So that's why I don't listen to it a lot. I usually listen to songs that are on like repeat playlists for me. Is songs that I relate with like crazy, or songs that are like just M going off on the on like the syllables and the rhyme schemes and the bars. And so those are the kind of like different type of music that I listen to, especially when it comes to Eminem specifically. But yeah, thank you for that one, Laura. I appreciate that. That one was cool to go through, and I don't know. I'm glad I don't relate with that, but I also wish I had more to speak about because I know there's a lot of people that go through that. And I want to feel sympathy for everyone that goes through that, you know? But I personally have never went through it, so I don't really have I have empathy for it, but I don't have sympathy for it because I've never personally dealt with anything like that. But I know it would be scary as hell, and I know that he definitely got to where he deserves to be with some crazy childhood stories like that. So thank you again, Laura.